Welcome to Inspire Nation. The fire was the only light in the room. Shadows danced on the walls, wrapping around two men whose names would echo through history. Epicurus sat with a cup of wine in hand, his eyes calm, almost inviting. My dear Epictetus, why do you wear your suffering like a badge of honor? Life is short, so painfully short, and yet you fill it with trials, with struggle, with endless discipline. Why not choose the sweetness life offers, before the cup is empty? Epictetus, his posture straight despite the chains life had once placed on him, met his gaze without blinking. Because the cup you speak of can be knocked from your hand at any moment. Comfort is an illusion, Epicurus. And the man who depends on it will crumble when fate turns against him. Epicurus leaned forward, his voice softer now, as though trying to pull Epictetus into his world. And yet, tell me, why must we live in constant readiness for war when there is peace outside our door? Why chase storms when you could build a home the storms cannot reach? Good friends, simple food, quiet days, this is where happiness grows. Why fill your heart with fear of what might happen? Epictetus' jaw tightened. His voice, though controlled, carried the weight of battle. Because storms do not knock. They tear down the door without warning. They take your home, your friends, your comfort, everything. And when that day comes, the man who has trained himself in hardship will stand while others collapse. You call it fear. I call it preparation. Epicurus' smile faded, his tone edged now with challenge. But if a man spends his life preparing for pain, does he ever truly live? I do not fear storms because I have built my life away from them. Why walk into fire when you can sit in the sun? Epictetus leaned closer, his eyes sharp. Because the sun you speak of is not eternal. When darkness falls, and it will, only the man who has walked through fire will light his own way. Comfort breeds fragility. Challenge breeds freedom. Epicurus' voice rose, his words almost trembling with emotion. Freedom? Or chains of your own making? You train for pain until you no longer taste joy. I would rather live in a garden for 40 years than in a battlefield for 80. Epictetus' reply was almost a whisper, but it struck like thunder. And I would rather walk through 1,000 storms, and remain unbroken, than hide in a garden that withers the moment the seasons change. The fire between them hissed as if the wood itself felt the tension. One man saw happiness as a safe harbor, protected from the winds. The other saw it as a ship, built to endure any ocean. And now the question is yours to answer, would you choose the soft warmth of comfort? Or the unyielding strength born from challenge? This is Inspire Nation, where great minds collide, and the battle for truth never ends.